Hello everybody, welcome. This is a recap interview with one of our partners, Kristof from Vandenbussche, but he will tell more about himself and of course the company. So Kristof, welcome, first and foremost. Again, can you tell a bit more about Vandenbussche and your role within Vandenbussche at the moment?
Hello Walt. Yes, so I'm Kristof Defruyt. I'm the CEO of Vandenbussche. We are a contractor, a Class 8 contractor, a building company. We are situated in Alter in Belgium, between Ghent and Bruges. We are a family-owned business. We are with some 180 people right now, and we do an annual turnover of about 110 million euros. We do renovation and new buildings. Mostly the bigger buildings. We start from more or less 3 million euros up to 35 million euros per project. We do residential buildings, but also schools, offices, hospitals, things like that. And we do not only build those projects, but we do also a lot in co-engineering, so in front of the process of building those beautiful projects.
Okay. Very nice and of course very exciting. It has been now 1 year since you partnered up with RecAp. On our side it was a fruitful year and we think it was a very multi-beneficial year. But could you give some experience on the partnership that has been standing for this year now and what are your nice outtakes from it?
Well, of course we get to know a lot of interesting people and we have learned a lot of the discussions with the other partners, and of course we have learned also to know a lot of interesting startups, not only Belgian but also more abroad with new technologies and things like that. So that was very interesting. One major thing that I've learned is that on innovation you have to work. It doesn't come naturally. It's no improvisation like some people think or I thought before. You have to do it in a structural way. Get to know new opportunities. So looking for answer for the challenges we have nowadays.
Okay, perfect. We'll dive into the structural way that you are organizing, but first and foremost, you know that RecAp is an ESG-driven accelerator program, especially on the corporate side. ESG is now a global term, of course, standing for environmental, social and governance. On the environmental side, we have a lot of targets, a lot of goals, the 2030 goal, 2050 goal even, and the decarbonation and so forth, and all those other things as well. But in terms of the S and the G, the social and the governance, how are you making steps within your company and do you find it very challenging?
Yes, to be honest, we still have to work on the S and the G. We are a family-owned company, like I mentioned, so ESG has always been in our culture, in the culture of the company and also of the family. But we didn't do it on a structural way, and that was also one of the remarks of the jury of best managed companies, a quality label we applied for a few years ago. So some 2-3 years ago we started to work on it structurally. We made a strategy, set goals and things like that, and like you said, for the E it's quite easy. There still are some challenges, especially in the construction industry, but you can set your goals, and we have chosen to do that with the carbon emissions. So we measured our carbon emissions and we set goals for the upcoming years and some actions to get there. For the S and the G, we now have to do it and set up the strategy and do it more structured. We already decided in our management team that we want to be a B Corp in a few years, but now we have to go in that way.
Yeah. Okay, so effectively, like you said, you have those ambitions set in stone. In your feeling now, are you going to reach those goals? Is it still tangible enough, what you're planning for, what you're aiming for?
Yes, you have to be reasonable when you set your goals, but my experience is when you set your goals together with your team, you can set them quite high. And then you work on it with the team on a structured way, and then it works and it goes to reach those goals.
Okay. So your ambitions have been set. How are you tracking your progress? How are you documenting and gathering possibly some data on your achievements?
Well, like I said, for the E part, we have set different goals for each year. And we check them each year. If we reach them, do we have to take more actions and things like that? So we have some 5-year plan, and every year we make it more detailed. For the E part, for the S and the G part, we still have to work on it.
Okay, a work in progress. Understandable, of course. Do you have a structure in place in terms of innovation, a structure in your board or within your managers? How is it structured now in the company, people-wise?
Yes, there's no special department fully working on innovation, but it's high on the agenda with some 5-6 people, including myself. On innovation, it's also a topic on our meetings, management teams, in our reporting to the board of directors. There's a special topic on innovation, and especially in our company, the people who are involved with BIM, building information modeling, are very close to the innovation topics related to the BIM information modeling. So we work that way, and that's the way we structure it. So it's always on the agenda, and we have some people who have part of the time dedicated to innovation. It's also part of our culture as well, because we have quite a young team, and a lot of those people are very eager to try new things, to get to know new things on site, to try new technologies and things like that. It's quite fun to do.
Okay, that's always nice to hear that it's quite fun to do. Do you feel that the involvement of RecAp and the RecAp team act as an extra consultancy or extra added value to your innovation team or innovation trajectory, or?
Yes, the RecAp subjects live within our company, and as we get to know on a regular basis new technologies, new startups and things like that, we are always confronted with possibilities and solutions for the challenges we have. So it's like a stimulating way of keeping up the challenges in our head.
Okay. A few years ago, the tagline was "Software is eating the world." Now they say impact is eating the world. Do you agree? Do you think that doing business, conducting your business in an impact-conscious way is getting more predominant in our sector, in our building sector, in the sustainable city development sector?
Yes. When you, as a company, don't get an impact in that way, you're not sustainable as a company. I think you don't have a future. And as a family-owned business, we always think long-term, and you should have impact, not only as a company, but also personal, I think. You have a job to do.
Exactly. Okay. What will be the message that you would like to give fellow construction companies or development companies that are aiming for a more sustainable approach on their core business, or who are aiming to have more impact in their daily life? What would you suggest to them?
Don't be afraid of it. Start with it today. Get together with your team. Think about a strategy and start today. It's some people think it will cost a lot or things like that, but that's no reason, and it's not true. I think we're one of the companies that prove that it's something you can do quite quick and with quite good results.
Okay. In closing, so the last question: what would be the best outcome or the best benefits that you would say that came from the partnership with RecAp? It has been mentioned, maybe just to sum it up.
Well, like I said, we have learned to get to know a lot of interesting companies, not only partners, but certainly the startups. So we have a lot of information about the new technologies, and especially for us, we have a big accomplishment is the partnership we have now with the startups, so that we can develop a new technology for the building industry.
Exactly. So a nice future ahead of you, thanks to the little mingling of RecAp, hopefully.
Yes.
And hopefully other partnerships as well in the near future.
Yes.
Let's see. Why not?
We keep on looking for other possibilities and solutions for the big challenges we have ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kristof, for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more interviews to come.